It can actually help when we look at the closer planets, so Moon, Venus, and Mars, to have the same signs can help us to feel less fragmented. So that it's not that one planet is having us look at something super individual, for example, and the other has us look at something that is completely transpersonal. So it can help, but it can also create a blind spot. The blind spot here could be, I have to serve everyone. I have to be the mother of four. And this goes back to the openness and the definition. What I can see with Virgos, and this is especially a challenge if you have an undefined G center, that you put on yourself those roles that you think that you are, your mother, your wife, you are the person in the office that has everything organized. You take on these roles and you hook onto them. And then there's the rigidity, which is not good for the mutable earth, that you have to be that. So if you have an undefined G center, especially, you want to see what roles you have taken on, because you're here to have a million adventures, a million love stories. You are here to be changeable. And the same thing if you have a defined G, you can be so fixed that you are actually a bit manipulating yourself, that you are the person that is in the office before everybody else and making sure that the coffee's made and you're not even getting paid for it. So there can be a rigidity there in the defined G center, and there can be this kind of conditioning aspect more, that it just happens, you didn't even realize it in the undefined. Also, I can see that this is connected to the undefined spleen, because if you're holding on to a role that you are fulfilling, that might be something that's not good for you. And we know that the not self of the open, undefined spleen is holding on to things for too long and not realizing how detrimental they are. Is again, oh, I have to do this. It's not a big thing. I have to blah, 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 blah. And then still, especially for the undefined spleen, to stay with habits, everyday habits that are draining us, that will lead to exhaustion, lead to feeling like the lonely wolf, because all of the responsibility is on you, but you don't have a true nurturing of relationships and people that are there for you. Also because there's a little bit of pride. So I think that's the other thing to look at here. Are you taking pride on some conscious or subconscious level that you're doing so much? So that then that pride can even lead you to think that you're better or entitled to more things than others. That's a big check with yourself when you have Virgo. I'm doing so much, so I'm entitled. If you have that, check yourself, because pride has never taken us anywhere.